Welcome back guys, Smurfy back for another video, and today we are playing Historic Merfolk. Very similar to the modern style version or even the legacy version. Just a bunch of lords and cheap creatures along with a little bit of interaction. So the interaction that we've got today is Spell Pierce, and as well as Spell Pierce you've also got a singular Mist Cooler. No idea why everyone's playing one of these, but when I was looking up lists everyone was playing one of them. It works against things like Collected Company. Other than that, you've got a bunch of different lords, and you've also got Collected Company at the top of the curve. So you're able to just end of turn add 2 creatures to the board, or alternatively, if you do it during combat and you get some lords, all of a sudden your 3/3s are now 4/4s or even 5/5s. So you can add a lot of power and toughness to the board from nowhere. So that is the deck. I think that's pretty much everything. The only other thing is we are playing Unclaimed Territory in this list as well, because there's very few cards in the deck which aren't Merfolk. It's pretty much just Collected Company and Spell Pierce. So you get a really, really powerful dual land there, and there's a bunch of different lands you get in this deck. Anyway, let's get into some games. I'm not so sure about having no 2-drop in our opening hand. However, we do have a 1-drop, a 3-drop, and 2 4-drops with good lands as well. So we'll keep, but I'm very much hoping that we draw something for turn 2. Let's see what our opponent is playing though. A Mountain into Dragon Rage Channeler. It doesn't really narrow it down with the current format. That goes in pretty much every single deck that is in red. You play in a mono red aggro, you can play Dragon's Rage Channeler. You play in again, it can go in there. Boris, again, it can go in there. Like anything you're playing with red, you can probably play Dragon's Rage Channeler in. So they're gonna get rid of our Herald here. Looks like they're playing and they got rid of a Memory Lapse. Glad to see that go with double Collected Company in hand. So we'll go ahead and play the territory here, name Merfolk. I'm very tempted just to keep this in our hand for now and wait until we end of turn Collected Company, untap, and then play the Lord and try and get these into like 3/4 toughness. Yeah, because it's just so easy for them to just kill this with a shock or whatever the various different shocks in the format are. There's Pillar of Flame, shock, and there is another one that allows you to scry if it hits your opponent's face. And they're going to consider here, sure. Putting a land into the graveyard. And then they consider resolve, see if they want to keep that on top. They do, okay. So probably not a land if they've decided to keep it on top. And I haven't seen these mountains before. Those look really nice. So we'll just go ahead and play another territory here. Once again, we'll name Merfolk, and we are just going to pass the turn. Our opponent's not really got a fast clock that we need to worry about. And I really want to be able to go end of turn Collected Company, so then we can then untap and play more threats and try and get some lords in play and try and get out of the 2 toughness range. That is ideal. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead end of turn Coco. They probably have a counter spell for this one. No? Okay, that works out nicely for us. So we get to use the scout here to exile a land. If we do, we can get a tropical island for it. So we might as well get rid of the pathway here. It's an ever so slight upgrade. There's the Unholy Heats, that's one of their removal spells. And another one, wow, okay. Fortunately, they cannot afford to use 2 removal spells per Collected Company, especially as we have 2. So we'll go ahead and play the Herald here. And I think we're just going to pass the turn. Opponent's finally got a reasonable clock now, with the Channeler becoming a 3-3 from Delirium. So we are under a little bit more pressure than we were originally. I don't even think they have any Arclight Phoenixes in their graveyard. No, they don't. So we're just going to go ahead, end of turn, collect a company here. There's the counter spell. So at least now we can play 2 Lords. So we play the... I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. And then we can just copy it with this. So now we've got 3/3s, their shocks no longer kill them, but Unholy Heat, of course, with Delirium, does still kill them. Opponent is down to only 1 card in hand. Unfortunately, they have still got the Channeler in play, so enabling them to Surveil every single time they cast a Opt or a Consider, things like that, is going to be very hard to kill our opponent, just because they... Oh, and now they're going to be drawing an extra card every turn. So things aren't looking good. Unfortunately, they just had 1 or 2 too many removal spells. That was what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 spot removal spells and a couple of counter spells. Oh, Trickster's a good draw here. So at the beginning of their combat, we will be able to cast that on their Dragon Rage, or cast it and the enter the battlefield trigger will happen on the Dragon's Rage Channeler. What this will do is tap it down and make it lose all abilities, but more importantly, it will not let them attack, and then they'll lose the Curious Obsession. Okay, we're just going to respond to that, I think. No, we have to let it resolve because we need to tap both down. Okay, so now we can Trickster. And then we will we'll use the tap ability on this one, and we'll use the creature loses all its abilities as well on the Sprite in case they have any post-combat spell they want to use. We could really do with drawing a Lord here. Yeah, there we go. So there's the Obsession gone. It's not a Lord, it's at least it's a creature though. So we could very easily be dead when our opponent untaps. We'll just have to see what they have. Is there even anything we want to untap? I don't think so. Nothing has reach. No, I guess we'll go with the Forest. This has become a lot closer than I was anticipating. Oh, maybe not with the Brazen Borrower here. So they're opting to do it post-combat. Oh, okay, sure. So because it wasn't actually a Lord, it was a copy of a Lord, that could cause some issues here. But they probably didn't want to... No, I have no idea why they would do it then. But our Mimic can copy the Trickster here, so if they pass with blockers, we can tap one down with the Trickster, or the copy of the Trickster. Okay, now we can't, because they've killed that. So they can hit us for 6 here as a maximum, so we're still alive. And the Brazen Borrower can't block creatures on the ground, it can only block flyers. So as long as we draw a Lord here, we do still win. Does that do it? Yes, it does. Sweet. So we'll play the Elite here. Wait, does this come... Yeah, you may have entered the battlefield as a copy, not when it enters the battlefield. So this is whenever you another Merfolk enters the battlefield. I don't think it matters. We'll copy the elite. I don't know if it will trigger off itself. No, it won't. But it doesn't matter. We managed to just about sneak in enough damage there. For literally exactly lethal. I guess on to the next one. I was really impressed there. I didn't think we were going to make it with the amount of spot removal they had. This hand looks fine. We'll go ahead and keep this. The mana base for this deck seems really, really good. You've got so many different dual lands, and on top of that you've also got the Shoreline Scout, which allows you to trade in lands or creatures for drops. So it just seems like really smooth. So we'll go ahead with the Sanctum first, I guess, into... I don't know, because I kind of want to keep this in case we don't draw a third land. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Mistcaller first. Just on the off chance that we do get land screwed, this has the potential just to fix that. See if our opponent flips, and they don't, so they've either drawn a creature or a land. Wait, did they choose to reveal? Oh no, they've revealed from this. Okay. I thought they randomly revealed the top card of their deck anyway. So they'll play the Sprite Dragon. This is like their really aggressive openers when they get Sprite Dragon on turn 2. So we drew the perfect land, and our opponent doesn't want to do the trade, so we're just going to swing. Yeah, they'll take the 1, and then we've got the Trickster for during their turn, or whichever one's bigger for combat. The other option is to use the Trickster now, so that if they cast an instant or sorcery, they miss out on the counter from the dragon. Seems a little bit niche though. Yeah, we might as well go ahead and do it now. The Spell Pierce is going to be quite hard to use against the opponent, just because the first thing they're going to use is their removal spells at their turn, and then they'll use all their cantrips. So Spell Pierce, using it on like a red burn spell, is probably going to be quite hard to get the right timing for. So we can go ahead and keep this in our hand until next turn, and then that way we can keep up Spell Pierce, which I think is what we're going to go ahead and do. So we'll play this Lord instead. We'll go ahead and swing, and now if they do want to use a removal spell, they're going to have to pretty much tap out for it. See what they reveal off the top. Again, still nothing. Delver of Secrets really is just not the same as it is here compared to Legacy. Like, not even close. Look at the top 3 cards, put one of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Yeah, that's fine. The Sprite Dragon's getting a little bit big here, but I think that shouldn't be too much of an issue when we've got this many Lords in our hand and in play. So now if they've got a removal spell, it's not going to do the job. So they're going to get in for what, at least 7 here? Put another Delver of Secrets to the bottom. Why would they attack with the Delver? Yeah, there we go. That would have been a bad play if they decided to attack with that. tough on what we want to do here, because we want to use the Lord, but I kind of want to use the Trickster to tap down one of their creatures so they don't kill us next turn, because they've already got 7 power on board. So simply flipping a card to Delver, and that's lethal. So I think we'll just go ahead, play the Scout. Don't really want to get rid of either, so we'll just keep it how it is. I guess we could play that tapped, but I don't really see any benefit to that. Okay, here again we're swinging for 7. And as long as they don't have a counterspell for our Trickster, we should be okay to survive this turn. And hopefully kill them on the swing back with the Regery. Regery? Yeah. I don't know why, but I have a very vivid memory of watching an SCG event with Patrick Sullivan and Cedric Phillips, and it was a top 8 on, I want to say Modern, and like 6 of the top 8 lists were Merfolk, and like Merfolk just wasn't even particularly that good. It was good, but it wasn't particularly that popular at the time, and there was just this one random event, and all of a sudden there was just like a shitload of Merfolk everywhere. It was a really, really strange event. Oh sweet, we managed to get there. Our opponent just wasn't able to get us dead, and all they had was a 5/4. So obviously we can just swing with everything. We can tap things down with the Regery. I think they were just dead on board anyway, right? They had 2 blockers. Yeah, sweet. Merfolk is working out really well for us. A lot better than I was anticipating. On to the next one. Not keen on keeping a hand with a no 1-drop, but the card quality in this hand is exceptional, so we'll go ahead and keep 3 Lords and a card that replaces itself. Super powerful. And opponent leads off with a Mountain. We'll just play that, and it doesn't really hurt to show the island, I guess. We can represent Spell Pierce. I think that's the only thing I can think of. Oh, okay. So they can destroy our land and we get to go put an island or a forest into play. I guess we get a forest to enable us to play a collector company. We'll go ahead, play the island, and we might as well start off with just playing Lords, right? I guess the other option was to play Trickster, but I don't really see the point. Mindstone. Oh, so they are probably some big mono red deck that's ramping into Ugins and Chandras. So again, we'll name Merfolk. We'll lead off with the Adept here. We might as well show the card that we intend on playing. Yeah. So I'm expecting to see lots of things like Anger of the Gods in their deck. Angering Gods, Sweltering Suns, that kind of stuff. Which is really, really bad for us until we can get to our Lords being X4s. And then we're fine. Until they cast 2 in the same turn. Then again, it's a problem. So Cascading Cataracts is tapped for 1 colorless, or you can pay 5 and tap it, and you get 5 mana in any color combination you need. What would they be doing with 5? Maybe they just want to land this indestructible. Oh, I see, that's just a little ramp spell. So Cleansing Wildfire, destroy target land, its controller may search the library for a basic land card. So the idea is you use it on this, and you pay 2 mana to get yourself a land, put it into play, and draw a card, which is actually pretty good. So I'm expecting them to play a Planeswalker sooner or later. So I'm going to try and end of turn and end of turn Trickster here, just so that it's a lot harder for them to play a Planeswalker. Yeah. So now they can minus and kill the speaker, or they can tick up. So they're going to make 2 mana, so probably use some sort of burn spell. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this. And then we can untap and at least get some damage in on this Chandra. We need to just be mana efficient at this point, so we'll play the 3-drop and hit Chandra for 2. If they have another Sweltering Suns or Anger of the Gods, it's going to be really hard to beat this. Oh, Golos. That is sweet. So that's what another benefit of Cascading Cataracts does, is they can use it to help give them all the different coloured manas. How do we want to play this now? We can play 2 Lords. That would then make them all big enough to survive an Anger of the Gods, and then we can use one of the ETB effects to tap this down. So we can kill Chandra quite easily. Yeah, that seems like a good option here. Sure, we'll go for Mountain. Doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. We did also have the option of using both of the triggers on our own lands and then playing the Trickster as well, which would have added an extra 5 power to the board, so that might have been correct actually. Because then we could very easily be threatening lethal next turn with the Collector Company. If that just gets us like a singular Lord, we'd be attacking for like a shitload. So yeah, I think it might have been correct to play the creature, untap a land, play the other creature, untap another land, Trickster, use that, tap this down, and just have a lot more power on board. 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. So we've got lethal if we attack with everything. So we might as well just tap everything down. So if they have anything, we've got the Spell Pierce, so I don't see any way how they can survive here. They're having a little think. Yeah, sweet. Another game we've won. I don't think we've lost. I don't think we've dropped a single game so far. I'm pleasantly surprised with this deck, and it's actually quite fun to play as well. So we'll play another one though. Yeah, this hand looks fine. We'll go ahead and keep. And I think I did say that we were on the play as well, which is really good. Opponent's playing with the proper basic back cards, which is interesting. We'll play the Breeding Pool first. I just find that kind of boring. All the options you've got, and so many. Well, I mean, I don't think I paid for mine. So like so many options, and a lot of them are free, and you choose to just use the magic backs. That's no fun. We'll play the territory here. Name Merfolk, and let's just make our guys bigger. Opponent is probably playing mono blue. They could also be playing the blue-red, okay. Don't know why you'd play Siren Storm Tamer in that. I guess it keeps your Sprite Dragons and stuff alive. Oh my god. What the fuck are they doing? How very, very strange. So we can either play a Trickster and keep up Spell Pierce, or we can just play another Lord. And I think we just want to play another Lord here. Normally the mono blue deck operates by getting ahead on the board quicker and then countering all your spells. However, we are on the board a lot more than they are. What the fuck is this? When it's the battlefield, seek a creature card from the most... Wait, what? Seek a creature card from the most prevalent creature type in your library. So what have they gone to get? A pirate, siren, or wizard? They must be up to something. I don't know what it is, but I think they're up to something weird. I'm very intrigued though. So they're just going to chump block here and take 6. That is essentially just a 3 mana card that draws you another card out of your deck. Oh, what does this do? Oh, okay. Alright, no idea what the hell they were doing, but I'm very interested in that card, whatever it's called. Faceless Agent. I'm going to have to look up some decks playing that. But yeah, let's just head to the deck again and see if there's any changes I'd make. So after playing the deck for a couple of games here and there, I did play a couple before I recorded, but most of them probably were done during the recording. The only things I think I would change out of my list is the land base. I basically just played what blue-green lands I had. Fortunately, the mana base is so smooth in this deck that you can get away with just playing whatever you have, and you don't need to worry too much about using your wildcards on those. Other than that, there is an additional Lord that the deck should have in there, but I just didn't have 4 rare wildcards, being as I play a new deck every single day at the moment. And I try to make a new video every single day with the new deck. And as you can probably imagine, that takes up a lot of wildcards. And I didn't think that it was that essential to use them on this one, so I chose not to. I ended up replacing them with the Herald because I found that you really needed a 1-drop in the deck. And I upped the Mimic, and I also added a Seafloor Oracle just because it looked really sweet. And a Deep Root Elite was the other one. So yeah, you can play the 4 additional Lords. They go in the 2-drop slot, and they also give you Island Walk to all your Merfolk. And I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's any changes in particular that I would make just from the games that we've played so far. There may be some upgrades to do, but the deck seemed really smooth. It pretty much always curved out really nicely just because the curve is nice and spread out. So if you want to play an aggressive style deck and you like a little bit of synergy and things like that, then this is a great deck to play. It's really fun, really enjoyable, and it's really cheap on the wild cards. Most people have Collected Company, I would assume, on Arena anyway. Like it goes in any green aggro deck. You're probably playing for Collected Company. And then a lot of the rest of the cards are uncommons or like a one-of Mistcaller, which I just had from a random draft left over. And there's just so many uncommons. Like even some of the Lords are uncommons, which just makes the deck super easy to build. There are a bunch of different rares that you can add to the deck when if you want to, but you don't need them. So yeah, I really enjoy the deck. Definitely recommend it if you want to play some Historic. If there is any decks in the future you'd like to see me play, please leave a comment in the comment section. I do read every single comment, so if you do ask me to play a deck, I will see it and I probably will play it. If it doesn't have to be on Arena as well, I do play Magic Online as well, but Arena is just nicer and easier to record on. It looks a lot nicer. If you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.